Man, probably a fun fact on me is that. Man, probably a fun fact on me is that I like to read. Like I like to read. That's a lost art nowadays. Oh, my great uncle is Jesse Owens. He won 4 gold medals in 1936.
I always want to leave people with this, man, to all the viewers and everybody out there, man. Make sure you guys finish your story. Make sure you guys finish your journey because somebody's going to need it.
Yeah. All you got to do is push the back button. That's all you got to do is push the back signal.
Try not to think about the future too much so you can maximize the now.
Who's your favorite rap artist?
Man, to be honest, it's crazy. Tupac always been my number one, right? Like he got me through so much stuff, but Lil Wayne has been in the modern day.
I said, what does it really take? What does it really take to be great, Drew? And he looked at me and he was like, you really want to know? And he was like, to be honest, everything you did to get here, you need to be consistent times 10.
What's up? What's up, everybody out there doing it? That's your boy, Coach Lee. Welcome to the Play Call Sheet. Back at it like we're mad at it. Man, we're getting close to the end, but appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Season ain't over yet, but it's nut cutting time. Let's get the crew up in here tonight and we do a damn thing like we always do. First off the bat, we got my man from the Northeast. He did me in this week, man, but it's still my brother. What's up, too? How you doing?
What's going on, everybody? It is Monday. Sorry, Coach, man. You know, wanted to fall. I was superstitious the whole weekend, man. I couldn't even look at the game. Would have been devastated if I lost, man. But to the championship, now I got to try to squeeze it in. What Unc told me I couldn't do coming to the SCFW League. And, somewhat do some damage, man. But I like my team coming into the season, and I just tried to do my best to keep afloat, Though some hard
Salute to you, brother. Salute to you.
Hope everybody's getting to on a Monday. Happy holidays once again, everybody. Hope everybody had a great Christmas, But before we roll on, I know somebody had a hell of a Christmas because along with that was the effing birthday, and he said his snow wave was that yesterday. I didn't see no snow on my side of Massachusetts, but he got some. He's also from the Northeast as well. Happy belated birthday to my guy, Will. We're going to call this the Will birthday party. You know what I'm saying?
How we doing? How we doing, fellas? Merry Christmas to everybody.
Yes, sir. What's going on with you?
I'm cooling, man. Yeah, we got some snow down here, man. It was nice. I woke up Christmas morning and seen it snowing. As a Christmas baby, you always wanted to snow, so.
Somebody yelling Super Bowl bound, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Facebook user doing your thing. I can't see who you are, but I know one of my homies can. Probably watching on the book. Shout out to the book. What's going on, Marie? She says happy birthday to you,
Appreciate it. Thank you, Marie.
We got our insurance back
Joshua, man. What's up, man?
We got our insurance back tonight. Big gift came yesterday, from State Farm. We've been missing you, I guess the week before Christmas, they don't give you the insurance policy. But we going to get the insurance policy tonight rolling, man. My guy Jake in the building, man. What's going on with you?
Man, not a whole lot. I had to make a special appearance here on this good old Monday. Had to give Will another birthday shout out in person. It's been a week, man. We had peak season down at work, so it's been real tough. But that snow came in and hit here in Cincinnati too. I've been working from home since Thursday. Tonight's my first night back at the office, so I was like, I need a little bit of a tune-up, a little bit of a pump-up to get me ready for the work night. So I was like, I'm going to hop on tonight and say what's up to everybody.
Definitely. Look at some of these comments real quick, man. Shout out to Bobby. What's going on with you? Shout out to Josh from Lil J Donut. Shout out to Lil J's, man. Hopefully in the year 2020, we can get some deliveries up here in Massachusetts.
Absolutely.
Will birthday posters all around shooting out, man. Jamie as well says happy birthday to you.
Appreciate it, Jamie. Appreciate everybody else.
Sorry about Stephanie Diggs and all them not turning up for you this weekend, man. Fancy football, a lot of disappointment. A lot of happiness.
Evans and Stevenson killed it for me too.
It was bad.
It was Baker Mayfield, Sunday. Shout out to Baker on another victory this season with the Rams.
Quarterback controversy next year? Stafford said he's coming back.
It could, I wouldn't say controversy in regards to that. I would just say more that Stafford is just damaged goods right now. You know, and hey, it follows good for Baker. You know, he's able to hopefully keep writing the story. You know, don't want to go down as one of them guys in the book of being a bust or not playing to somewhat of a potential standpoint. You know, still can play in the league, and a shout out to him.
Baker gonna have an interesting choice because it's either choose a team that needs a quarterback, and if you're a team that needs a quarterback, you're not probably in great shape. So make that journey again, or play backup. Play backup to Stafford. Stafford can get hurt again. I mean, he's the way he plays, he takes hits. So
yeah, I mean, he can make some pretty decent change off of that too. Look at that Chargers backup quarterback. He's been doing it for years, making bank off of that.
And McVay loves him, so you stick with them. But see, you might be choosing to be a backup to also another bad team because they're gonna struggle to build moving forward. All their capital's gone draft wise. A lot of it,
right.
Anyways.
Definitely. Paint card sheet over here, man. Yeah.
Oh.
Interesting weekend. We had games on Saturday, a chunk of games on Saturday. You had minimum on Sunday. You got your Monday night game tonight, as you know, playoff implications do ring in there. You got the Chargers, and you got the Colts tonight. Now the Colts are but you know the Chargers do get a playoff spot tonight if they win. I mean, we probably all predicted in here that the Chargers would make the playoffs. We didn't predict what would happen, you know, beginning of the season. Justin Herbert gets rocked early, rib injury, then the receivers go down. So they're going from OG receivers to young receivers. The defense, which I believe would have took a jump this year, dealt with injuries in itself, and this seems like this discombobulated. And he's got a coach over there that, you know, is trying to get things right, but hey, they're doing their thing.
Teams always hurt, man. That's always been the number one thing that slows them down.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the coach last week, Desiree losing to the Vikings after that, you know, that early lead. Jeff Saturday, of course, you know, he's not really a coach. This is a guy that's holding the baton right now. You know, Matt Ryan should hit the retire button. Jonathan Taylor's not there. This is a disappointment to me. The Indianapolis coach this season. Terrible disappointment. I'm not saying that it's supposed to be the best with Matt Ryan there, but I thought at least they would be, let's see, football perspective, humble enough to go up there with the team perform. Yeah, Shaq Leonard, you know, missed most of the season. He's not, and because of the overall scheme, you know, they had more plays to back it up, and they didn't back anything up this year. Michael Pittman takes it extremely far. A lot of the plays that produced last year for the Colts take a horrible downfall this year, and this franchise is all takes a downfall, you know. And,
yeah, they just had bad quarterback play. When it was good, those weapons were playing well. And then Taylor got hurt, so that's another big problem. That line needs fixing. That team needs some pieces, but
yeah.
How about
I think they clear house this year, man.
They need to stop trying to pick up random quarterbacks. They need to drop.
Yeah. I think part of their problem is, you know, they've gotten, I'll probably say Leaf was serviceable for them. No, it kind of really, and you know, they had the debacle with Wentz, and then this year they finally in a position to go draft a quarterback, but then really ain't no franchise type quarterbacks coming out this year.
Yeah.
So they're still gonna be in a bad spot.
They could take a run at Richardson, my guy from Florida. He's gonna be like mechanically, he's gonna look like Lance for the Niners.
You picked the wrong quarterback and set your franchise back about 10 years.
Yeah. You telling the Patriots fan that?
Wasting longevity. What's going on? Uncle in the building. What's going on with you? How you doing, man?
What's up?
How we doing,
Nick Foles should have been started to me. I mean, I thought they would have been started Nick Foles, but they didn't.
They started everybody but him.
Probably could have saved this season. So I'm just saying, you know, could have been a little bit of magic. It's the year to backup QB.
I don't think this team was good enough to want to save the season. They should be in tank mode anyway.
Big pick by the Chargers to start.
That's probably why Foles didn't play.
Oh, so Nick ain't starting off hot. That's why, because Nick's rusty. Nick's rusty.
It's his first snap in over a year. I mean, starting snap.
Coach were looking more hopeful last season. They fell apart. Yeah, man. They didn't chase nothing, still hanging on to the blue stick, signing old QBs, They want to go now one, you had to give up something to go get somebody. And even have to give a defensive piece up and a couple draft picks to go get a guy like Aaron Rodgers. Like, I'm just surprising that I would have thought Aaron Rodgers was on a different team this year. He still sticks in Green Bay. And all the other guys that got signed to these teams are just playing beyond terrible. Russell Wilson, Matt Ryan. Next year, we're potentially going to have Derek Carr as one of the high guys getting paid in terms of the free agent market. Like, I guess that's where the coach may go next. Who knows?
Not ideal.
Not good. Ain't nothing out there. What do you do if you're the coach? You don't have a backup over there that, you can go roost up. I thought Sam Ellinger would probably be that, but gave him a try and you see what happened. It's going to be tough. Do you trade up in the draft? If you see somebody's draft work out and they wow you and then you go get him?
Sign Baker.
You want to go get Baker Mayfield, have him in Indiana? A lot of things that could fall into that.
Yeah. Be interesting. Real interesting. See what they do.
Absolutely. So let's take a look at what's the score again right now? Still 0-0?
0-0, 4:48 left in the first. Chargers got the ball at their own 33.
So who y'all have winning tonight?
Chargers, but like, oof.
Barely.
No.
Barely.
Got the Chargers.
I had the Chargers as well.
I had the Chargers.
Alex Pierce does deserve better. I agree. I'm a big fan of his randomly.
Their team deserves better. Those guys, like I said, they had some receivers last year that were incredible in making an up jump. And for those pass catches this year, it's been like, Jonathan Taylor, gets always a good piece of the rock. So he's out there, he can show himself. But the rest of those guys who you thought would make a leap after, seeing what they did last year, is just like, that's terrible. So not only but everybody else that pass catches on that team deserves better.
Yeah. I'm looking at your boy. I like to look at the draft kind of about this time, start getting some ideas. Some of the things I've seen is I've seen the coach with pick number 5 and potentially taking Will Levis from Kentucky. How y'all feeling about that?
I mean, if he's still there, he's been the quarterback out of this class that I like the most. He didn't do a lot to back that up over some of the games, but he did play well for the most of the part. He played well. He's on Kentucky, so like it's SEC, but not always a roster
SEC JV.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, Kentucky looked good last year, and this year they looked like they were on the decline, and that was the same thing with Levis's play. I thought that he looked like he was playing worse than he did his junior year. So I did not think this is just not a good class for quarterbacks. I don't think anybody's like Coach said. I don't think anyone's going to be a franchise type QB coming out of this draft.
They're all projects.
Exactly.
I think Bryce Young is a project too.
Yeah.
They got Houston taking him.
You got to have a perfect line with him. He's tiny. And I don't have a problem with small quarterbacks, but like he's not just short.
6 feet, 194. Yeah,
190, bro.
QB Kingdom, man.
One of my legs might be 190.
QB Kingdom, man, is becoming a lot heavy. It's coming heavy, man. It's a lot of people in that castle. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a time for a couple people to scoop their behinds out, so the new breed can come in and you can try to groom them. But like you said, quarterbacks are projects. One of them can be a project that you really want to prepare for, and you make something out of it. But at best, they're just going to be guys that you're trying to get to a level that is successful enough for. It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough for the Indianapolis.
They got to figure out.
They
got to figure out coach first.
Yes, coach as well, because Sadler needs to be back at ESPN.
Because
he did a lot better job there.
He's a nice guy. Like you all get smoke and all that and this and that, but
team's not good. But either way,
you'd rather be your man. Be what I'm saying. I want to know Jeff Saturday as the guy that Super Bowl winner, and great commentator, great inside guy. I don't want to know him as being like thinking about Magic Johnson as a coach. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to think that. I want to think about Magic Johnson, the player. I want to think of just Saturday, the football player. You know, and the analyst. The coaching thing, and like you said, they gave him a chance. He took it. Hey, man, it's a boost for him and the family at the end of the day. Get an extra boost, couple dollars on a paycheck. I ain't mad at you for it. But ultimately, he knows the fate. Maybe a position at a coordinator one day could work or something like that.
This has got to be the most time we've ever spent talking about the Colts.
Yeah, man.
We're moving along. We get in this news for the day.
Yes, absolutely.
Good segue there, man. So, this first one, I got a little pettiness, just like anybody else does. So, I'm gonna be a little bit petty. So, I'm pretty sure everybody probably seen a little bit of a scuffle that happened after that trash Broncos and Rams game yesterday, where Randy Gregory got into it with Oday Abushi, and both of them have been suspended for one game. So I will probably say, for the sake of argument, I would defer to two on this one first. How you feeling about Gregory getting suspended for a game?
Gregory deserved to be suspended after that performance. Homie got him. From the cameras, homie got him, man. And hey, cannabis must not have been too good in Cali for him. You know, he must have gave him a bad sack, you know what I'm saying? Because Randy Gregory this season has been an afterthought. You know, Dallas spent a long time with him trying to groom him. He had a great season. He got the bag. And, I mean, hey, that doesn't mean he's not Randy Gregory still. And, I mean, hey, people getting chips on the field and fights and all this and that. But you've seen Randy Gregory if you haven't seen him. Yesterday, he was in the news like, for being on the field and playing football. It wasn't for, you know, smoking weed and being suspended and Dallas trying to work him in and then get suspended again. This is ultimately what you're seeing. So, Randy, tough hit, man. But they both deserve to be suspended, you know, for what happened after the game and whatever the case is. You know, it wasn't called for on both sides. But, yeah, from the video side, looks like the Rams won on the field and after the game.
Yeah. You know, you're gonna get what you're gonna get when you start scuffles like that. So they gotta chill out, man.
You know how many sacks he's gotten this year?
Not many.
Dos.
Yeah.
Two of them for a guy that got, what's his contract he got?
He got about 60. I think we got about 60 million, I believe.
5 years, 70 mil.
Oh,
and he getting 2 sacks.
Grass ain't always greener.
Dallas gave you that, and then, hey, at the same time, you know, it was time for him to go find something else. You know, at the end of the day, for all the years you spent with him, you got to play, I guess, a full year. You know, so I mean, be humble for that. You know, ultimately for your career.
I mean, he got the bag. Good for him.
He'd be a great president, be a great player, but now he's like you said. We mentioned this in the beginning of the season. You're in Denver, man. You like to smoke the grass. You're up there. It's grassy up there. Might be too grassy up there for you. You know, rather than going on the field and producing. You know, you're producing on the THC.
20 minutes in, conspiracy minute. Tuquan.
THC, man.
Okay. We gonna see. Second story. So we kind of posted it in the group. And I want to tap Jake, not from State Farm, on this one first. But the report reveals that Miles Austin, who's the wide receiver coach for the Jets, has been suspended for a year for violating the NFL's gambling policy. Now, when it first came out, the details of his infraction wasn't really reported. But I think it's come out. The penalty release, it appears he was gambling on a handful of NBA games.
A handful of NBA games, man. Jay, we definitely didn't hear your opinion on this. And Jamie, definitely sad seeing talent being wasted. Really.
Well, see, my whole thing with the whole, like, just gambling and sports related thing, I don't really see why it's a big deal. We're normal people. They're normal people. Some people like to gamble. Me, if it was it's not able to gamble yet in Ohio, it is next year. I'd probably throw a couple dollars here and there on games, especially if it's not my sport that I'm playing. But the funny thing was that I'm pretty sure that this gambling rule that they have within sports has been around for years upon years by now. And what I read in the report myself is that he didn't even know that he was breaking a rule. Well, this rule's been set for years. And again, as much as I am against the rule, because I'm still a guy of Pete Rose needs to be in the Hall of Fame in baseball, I don't get how you didn't know you weren't breaking a rule. It's gambling at all, period. Now, in my opinion, I think that the whole year ban thing's always been crap. I mean, the Calvin Ridley, that was also in the article. A year ban for the gambling, and he wasn't even signed to a team at that point. That just seems way too ridiculous for me. If you're going to slap a guy on the wrist, fine him. You don't need to take his gameplay away. They just completely took a year away from this man's career that he's not going to get back. A year of the prime career. I mean, it's just, that's my opinion on it, is that I don't think it should be the rule. And if it is a rule, a ban from playing shouldn't be a thing. They should get a hefty fine if you really want to be a dick about it. But yeah, I think the fines, or I think the ramification is ridiculous. But at this point in time, the rule's the rule. And if he didn't know he broke it, it's kind of his fault for not going back and checking the rules on being a coach in the pro game.
$50 bets on random basketball matchups is what he got dinged for.
Slippery slope, man. You got to know better.
Or
just
I'll give you a crash test dumb to do it for you.
Yeah. Or
yeah,
I
really.
don't know why these guys don't have a guy. Everybody should have a guy. It don't make no sense.
Even we have guys, and we ain't no professionals,
right.
you know, things like that. But I mean, I feel like, like you said, the rules written.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you got to follow the rules.
Mm-hmm.
But in the sense of, the whole betting thing, man, this is what America's doing now. You know what I'm saying? Like, football players are allowed to, go to strip clubs and toss money at strippers. You know what I'm saying? NFL players are allowed to go in bars and drink liquor and all this and that. Like, they're allowed to do these things. They're allowed now to, there's no testing in the NFL. Like, they're allowed to do this. So my thing is, at some point, it's gonna make a round. But I can understand why. When you had a job and you feel like you're structured and you're paying players a lot or coaches a lot, you feel like they can live off that. Right. Damn, I can't live off a $5. I can't get a $5 parlay in. That's why, like, when I get paid and all you get paid, I know for sure you're wondering, like, and now society's like, damn, is this check a lot? How can I try to put this and try to make more of it? You know what I'm saying? A little bit on the side, try to test your luck a little bit. Right. So that's where I fall bad. I don't agree with that. But like you said, it's written, man. You signed up for a job, get a contract, you know what you're not supposed to do. A lot of people in life don't even read the stuff no more. They're just like, okay, I accept the job. But you better read between the lines. Because you end up Calvin Ridley was betting on games, I believe, that involved his team last year. And that's why he was suspended.
Got bad heavy.
I feel like that's crazy.
I don't honestly. The one part I'll disagree with everybody is that I don't think they should be able to allow to bet. Like, just it's part of the business, man. Like, you in this business, you get this type of money. There's too much information that flies around.
In terms of conspiracy and bets, or being rigged.
Not rigged, but there's too much. A guy in the front office or a guy on the coaching staff, he knows who's going to be injured. He knows the injured list before everybody else does. And I'm not saying that there's no proof that he bet on his own team or even in the league, but it's a slippery slope. That's the problem. There's a reason why gambling is one of the things that they consider can be an addiction. It's like that. It can spiral, man. And that's just, and is drinking allowed? Yeah, they drink, but they also see if drinking gets out of control, you'll have some problems with that in the league. So I believe, it'd be easier if you just keep everybody not betting. They're gonna bet. They're gonna find ways to bet anyway. So you start making it illegal. I guess you could try to regulate it, but I don't see how that even. It's too many people, man. You're already watching too much as a league.
Yeah, and like Tu said, when I'm bringing up the Calvin Ridley, and also when I brought up Pete Rose, apparently and allegedly, Pete Rose is only betting on the Reds at the time and the teams he was playing for. Calvin Ridley, like you said, we don't know if he was. I mean, like you said, it's a slippery slope. It's a fine line. And I agree completely with two. You sign up for the job. You know what the rules are. You should follow the rule.
I'm pretty sure they did know about. I think Ridley was betting on NFL games.
Ridley was betting on.
Really was.
Yeah, I think in the span of they was playing. I think they were Falcon games.
Yeah, then they made him sit for a year. Then they traded him.
Jamie, man, you right on cue, man. You must have been in our meeting today. You know, that's an excellent segue. You know, as we go through the night. You know, everybody in the world thinking about that situation right now.
Yeah, let's go ahead and tackle that one, man. I know when I saw it, I immediately got concerned. I was concerned about him early in the season when he went out, based on, him having a concussion, getting cleared to play, came back the next week, took the hit, and we literally saw this man not have any motor controls, of his bodily functions in the middle of the field. It scares the hell out of me because I've got close friends who had concussions, and you can go into dark places, especially if you end up with CTE and things like that we've seen documented in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, I'm being a little bit transparent here. I've had quite a few concussions in the past, and I find myself sometimes, not being able to have hand tremors and forgetting stuff and things like that. It's something very serious. You're talking about your brain and its capacity and kind of like, the CPU of your body. If this is his third time in protocol this year?
Technically two.
Technically two.
No, that's the problem, though. That's
documented two, but three that we know of.
Yeah,
documented two.
Rocked up.
That's definitely the problem.
He needs to.
It's a bigger problem. I've only heard of one suggestion that I could say it's not going to fix it, but they got to go to the college system where they have like actual medical instruments on the sidelines that can test these things, like not just the baseline tests that they're doing, like actual medical instruments that can test right there. It costs a lot more, but they got to go that route. That's first of all. Second of all, they got to just do what they're doing, but better. That's all. You got to do better. Like, there's been a few times that they missed them, and I know it's a lot to see, but you got cameras everywhere. You made sure of it, so we can get every angle of replays. You got cameras everywhere, all the replay abilities. You got to have a whole dedicated group of people watching for this at every game.
And like I bang on that, I agree with that as well. And then it's the scary part too, man, is what you're signing up to do. And then the Dolphins, again, on their side, this tape 24 hours come out. Then now he's in concussion protocol now. You're looking over the tape and all that. And I know this tape was definitely rolled several times after it initially happened yesterday. And at the position, damn, you get rolled up, to your knees, and then you fall head first. And like you said, he has the resume of already being concussion protocol.
Said he played the whole second half with it.
Yeah, it's tough all around, man. At one point, the league's going to have to make a decision on this. This can't be no longer an individual decision, a team decision. It has to be a league decision. This has to be a league decision. Like you said, Will, that's like there's cameras all around now. Like, there's cameras all around stores in the world. You're walking, there's cameras. You're driving the cars now at lights. There are cameras in a lot of places to prevent stuff. And then you're disobeying the law. And I'm not saying they're in a tough spot as professionals, but you have to care for the individual. And it's frightening because 24 hours, you see this now. And I looked at that replay before this show started about 45 times. And
cracked his head, man.
Cracked his head. And it's
he was fine right after, but like
with the professional
not with the history, right. Man.
Exactly. He can't play Sunday. He can't play Sunday. And it's not, and at the end of the day, It could be about playoff berths on the line and all this stuff. But ultimately, this is why you got next man up mentality. He can't be on the field this Sunday. He can't be on the field this Sunday. And people will say that
if for the very least, he's proven he can't protect himself.
Right.
These type of hits keep happening to him. I know quarterbacks get hit and guys can fall any type of way, but he specifically seems to always get his head smashed. Like he always goes basically head first to the turf with the whiplash effect, and whatever it may be, he just not protecting himself on the field. So.
And it could be that too. Back at the end of the day, if you go to like once it happens one time, you fall any type of way. You fall any type of way, in your head, boom. Anytime you fall, and you're playing the position of quarterback. So at most, even if you throw the ball like that happen and you get tangled up, a roughing the passer is not even going to save you. I'm not
talking about roughing the passer. I'm talking about he's
not protecting
himself.
I agree with you. I'm talking about in general, like for the safety of him. Like nothing's safe for him now being on this football field.
Not right now.
He plays the QB position.
The thing is that where do you draw the line though? Like
that's what I'm saying. When do you draw the line?
Because like you can't take his career from him either.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That too. The league can say, "Fuck the protocol. Fuck if you can pass an A, B, and C. You're smart enough to pass that shit. He's a professional. At the end of the day, he's gonna pass that shit. They have to pin and say he's not playing Sunday.
Yeah.
You have a concussion. You're not playing. You're not playing. Straight up.
It's gonna take for something extremely serious to happen on the field. Somebody unfortunately passes, or it's in situations where they're being forced into it, and the family comes back and sues them. They open themselves up to all that type of stuff. Next story. Who here is old enough to remember the Hogs? Y'all know anything about the Hogs? In Washington? The Hogs.
The Hogs, nah.
That's for y'all time, huh?
Must be.
On my time.
Probably one of the greatest offensive line units ever put together. This is the Hogs of the 80s in Washington when they were still, who. Great team. And actually are in the news right now because they own Dan Snyder's ass as well. They're suing him for the use of the Hogs, which is trademarked. And Snyder is going to have his day in court because the trademark issues are over the nickname itself. Again, late 80s, early 90s, great offensive line. Russ Grimm, Joe Jacoby, Riggins in the backfield, things like that going on. So how do y'all feel about them suing Snyder? And when do y'all think Snyder is going to sell the team?
So he's going to sell this team ASAP. Man, it's been going on for a long time. And this is just a disconnect between him and the franchise, straight up. Because any team try to bring back any throwback things, anything throwback, OGs respect that. OGs will just be on the fly like, all right, cool. But in this case with Snyder, we know he's hated throughout everything. We spoke on this guy a few times this season. Most recently, the Sean Taylor incident where, Adidas socks, you know what I'm saying? And the outfit, just look crazy on the mirror. It just look wild.
Like a mannequin.
So, yeah, you're just losing respect, day by day, week by week. And then now you're doing this. Yeah, they must have been mad at him in the grip. He must have been trying to do this for a long time and then was just like, I'm going to just do it. And not really care about nothing. Ultimately, try to just get himself booted out. Or this is what I'm going to do before I head out. Because I'm still the owner.
He's a menace. He always has been. And that's just what it is with this guy. I'm glad they sued him, whatever. I hope they win. They probably won't. They'll just drown them in lawyer fees and forever. But who knows? Maybe they'll win. Snyder, man, and that's the other thing. They're going to have to continue to try to make it real uncomfortable for him because he's not going to leave. He's just stubborn now. At this point, he's like, nah, y'all want me to go? Now I'm going to stay here longer. Like he's acting like that. I mean, he
He's
could
already
survive.
quoted that he had dirt on other owners.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's like, yo, you want to come for me? Like like this is why the owners don't get sent for, because if you send for one of them, they're gonna send back, and that's exactly what he's gonna do. So unless they can find something that's like just destroys his credibility and even more than it already is, like really just takes him out, some kind of scandal, I don't know when he's gonna sell this team. He might just get bored and eventually do it.
NFL is probably the only league where, you know, news and stuff can come out about you and you still do your job. You know, that's how much power these owners in the NFL have. So like you all say, he's gonna this is his I'm doing whatever I want before I leave tour. And you know, it's crazy that this is gonna happen, but the value of the team being sold for how much money is being sold is just gonna go up. And these shenanigans are gonna bring it up too, because this is a football franchise right here. Everybody wants to get a football franchise. You know, everybody trying to throw their name in the hat. All the big guys with money. You know, so he may be on something, you know, kind of strategic here. You know, trying to get every single dollar he can get, you know, before he knows that I'm gonna sell this franchise. It's crazy though. It's crazy. It's shambles. We your own team, you know, want to say we're gonna sue you and bring you to court. Hey, yeah. Sorry, Snyder, man. They don't like you no more, man.
They never.
I'm kind of heartbroken.
Like him for a while.
I'm heartbroken though.
Why?
I want him to keep owning the team. As long as he owns the team, they've been
trash. They're gonna be, That's like me. That's like me with James Dolan. Go ahead, Knicks. Keep being bad.
That's true. And the last story for the news of the day, actually, I was flipping through, and I just what was that?
I said those two are like the same person, Dolan and Snyder.
Yes, they are. Neither should be owning the team. Neither just ride out the sunset.
Yeah, just go.
But this one here, as far as the last story for the news of the day, kind of caught me off guard. I was reading that and I'm scrolling through and I'm like, wait a minute. Nah, that can't be right. But the Panthers, who will have an opportunity to still win a division and make the playoffs.
Unbelievable.
They signed a free agent cornerback because J.C. Horn is potentially out for the season. And it's a familiar face. Josh Norman is back with the Carolina Panthers.
That's wild.
This clown.
They dug that. Where did they dig that corpse up? That is. I hope he balls and talks a bunch of shit too.
He must have got a good bag to play these last few weeks with them. You know, they going into the throwback, you know, when they went to the Super Bowl thinking they got Super Bowl dreams, man. Those dreams happened long ago. You know, but ultimately, you know, it's a feel-good, you know, story for them going into the last few weeks. You know, we can't knock them. They're actually going to play in the game Sunday that means something for them. Even if it doesn't mean nothing for any of us. You know, we know they're bad. But they go in there and, hey, everybody wants to beat Tom Brady. And they have this. They're going to be like a bunch of little kids in the candy store. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get their hands on Tom Brady, trying to do whatever they want to Tom Brady in order to win the game. Imagine if they win this game. Josh Norman and they win this game. Little invested stock in Josh Norman. But besides the fact, his play and all that, I don't think that was not what the signing was for. I think this is for some type of boost for their team. For whatever reason on Sunday.
We'll see how many snaps he gives.
Right. That too. Football be wild, Jamie, indeed.
They desperate. They brought him in for a workout today. And signed him today?
Yeah, I'm hoping the Bengals sign Big Whit.
Nah, hell no.
Oh, yeah, Big Whit.
Nah, forget him.
He's loved there.
I don't know why he didn't do anything.
Oh, he was solid. He was solid.
No, he wasn't, man. All I ever saw that dude do was get penalties on key situations. I don't know why anyone's all high on him. I ain't getting into that one right now.
I mean, you gonna make that signing this season is only because of what the system is and what he can provide for that system in terms of knowing it. And I agree with you, Jake, on that. But yeah, I mean, if you want to sign somebody at this point in the season, it has to be somebody you're at least comfortable with.
Right.
Even if the performance on the football field. I want the Panthers to win the division. Hey, we don't care who wins the division.
They're going out in the first round.
Only thing we know is Dallas will be playing them. So get ready, Jerry.
This had me laughing. Cincinnati Patriots fan.
Cincinnati Patriots fan. Well, he might be a Bengals fan.
Dude, look, I had
Yeah.
the absolute worst Christmas ever. I am the only person in a Patriots jersey and Patriots hat at my family get-together on Christmas Eve. Everybody else is bangling everything. It was hilarious. And at the end of the game, when we lost, I went up to my dad, and he was hooting, hollering, high-fiving everybody, and he high-fived me on accident. Whenever my brother high-fived him, he's like, hey, hold on a minute. Give me that back. Ripped it back. He was like, no, you weren't rooting for him at all. Get out of here. I'm like, I was good gaming, you dude. Whatever. All right, then.
Man, that was a good Spurs segment, gentlemen. What y'all think about that?
Solid.
Very fun.
Got to get through the news.
Got through the news. Let me get to the point where everybody can show their expertise in happenings. But we're going to be back about 15, 20 seconds. Yeah, hold on tight. Be right back.
Hey, what's going on, man? It's cornerback Delvin Brew here from your favorite team, New Orleans Saints. I just want to go ahead on and give a shout out to STWF Media for allowing me to come on and talk about my testimony, my story, and also talk fantasy football. I just want to say thank you, man, for the honor. I appreciate you, man. Y'all make sure y'all tune in tonight at 7:30 Central Time. Bro Show out.
Back at it like we're mad at it. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. You are at the Play Call Sheet. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Next segment we have is when everybody shows what they know. The best NFL divisions and the worst NFL divisions.
Before we get into that, Darwin James ejected. Darwin James of the Chargers has been ejected for hit.
Really?
Oh, I saw it, yeah.
Yes. So
Give us play-by-play.
7-0 Chargers. 5 minutes left in the second quarter.
Is this game as bad as it sounds?
A little bit.
Justin Herbert has an interception. He's not for 12-89 yards. Nick Foles has 2 picks.
He's doing great.
Was that Austin Eckler touchdown, a rushing touchdown, or a receiving touchdown?
It was a rushing touchdown.
All right, cool. That means they didn't get a reception for the reception point. I'm holding on by a thread. He needs to get 28 points from Eckler, or no, 38 points from Eckler, which I believe he can do. So I'm still worried.
Not in this circumstance. I don't think so. Not in this circumstance.
Look, this is fantasy football. Anything can happen.
I'm gonna give you. And I don't like to, like I said, I'm superstitious. I don't like to look at scores and all that. I like to enjoy my weekend, until the standings and the score come out the next day. That could be sad or happy. But
we are the same way. I don't check the score after the 1 or 4 o'clock game. I check right before the Sunday night game, and then I don't check until 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter on Monday.
Man, that app be open on my bed, right on my phone.
I can't, man. I be stressing the hell out the entire time. I love fantasy football season, but I hate it at the same time because it stresses me the shit out.
It don't stress me out. I just go in there every week expecting to lose. Just something crazy gonna happen. I'm gonna lose. That's what.
Hey, I was the 8th
bonus.
Hey, I ruined a lot of people's days in Two's Money Making Fidelis League. I squeaked in at the 8th seed. I beat the 1 seed, and I just beat the 4 seed. I believe I'm heading into the chip right now. It's tough.
Yeah, it's gonna get tougher because you're playing. I believe
Aaron.
He's grabbed the title. He's been in the championship game the last 2 years. This will be 3.
And he smoked whoever he played.
And he smokes everybody in the playoffs. So yeah, it'll be tough.
And my team ain't that good. I don't know what the hell's going on. Kittle and Derrick Henry have saved my season. I went into the playoffs 6-8.
Damn.
Yeah, tell me.
You smell like the NFC South.
You give the Bucks, Saints, Carolina faith. You know what I'm saying? You are the type of guy that gives them faith, and they go into Sunday's game and think that they compete, man. But let's go to these divisions, man.
Look, I'll take the best loser trophy. Trust me.
Man, over here, man. The AFC East. This weekend told a lot of things. You know, we just spoke on Miami, but we gotta go to the top three de la creme. You know, Buffalo at 12-3. Miami follows at 8-7, still have some slim playoff hopes. Patriots lose this weekend, they're 7-8. Jets lose as well this weekend, they're 7-8. Their playoff futures drillingly going down. You know, some things gotta happen. So what's your intake on this division, man? You know, we for some time was calling it probably the second best division in football. You guys still feel that way?
Yeah, still.
Well, you know, I still think my Patriots got a chance of making the playoffs. And if Mac Jones is looking at a suspension for one game and Zappe goes in there who is comfortable with the offense with Matt Patricia for whatever somehow reason, they could get 8-8. Tua sadly being down with that concussion. Hope he's doing all right. Could beat him next week and catapult him up a little bit to maybe make that 7 seed. But then again, this is a Patriots team I don't really care for seeing in the playoffs right now.
I say we beat Miami.
Yeah, definitely a game, definitely a Belichick type game. You're gonna be playing against Teddy Bridgewater. You know, me as a Teddy Bridgewater non-fan, I would think that the Patriots should win that game. As Miami has a 60% chance to make the playoffs. Patriots at 22% could boast up real good with a win over Miami this week upcoming. It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough for Miami now. With a backup to try to go out there and perform. But, hey, Teddy Bridgewater, all you got to do is win a game or two because Tua's going to come back this season. We already know how this is going to ride itself. We don't want it to ride itself in that way, but it is. But shout out to the Buffalo Bills. They got full control of this division.
Right.
Kind of scary for a bit, you know. Interesting looking at after them at one point when we thought, you know, the last 3 teams in the division could probably boast them and go up. But we've seen reality what these teams really are and what Buffalo could be. And that's why they're rolling in January with the best record in this division. Probably one of the best teams in football.
And I think we all agree that the Jets are toast.
Yeah, Jets are toast. Their QB situation is bad. They keep going, changing sneakers. You know what I'm saying? When you keep changing sneakers, that means you're off for the night.
Yeah. You got 4 quarterbacks on that squad right now. And there's only one that needs to be starting, and it's not Mike White. I am not a Mike White fan. But there are 4. Zach Wilson is a no. Joe Flacco, too old. Mike White has got too much of the clout. Chris Streveler showed out in the preseason. He was on the practice squad and had absolutely no reason not to be on the main roster. He's got nothing but energy. He's got Trace McSorley energy, but is better than him. He got right into the game when they took Wilson out, drove him all the way down the field. They didn't get nothing out of it, but he got him all the way down the field. That guy needs to be starting, not Mike White. I know that's a hot take.
Yeah, it's an extremely hot take. As Mike White was solid when he was playing. They need to go with Mike White. That's the way to go right now. Moving forward, that's a whole different story. They got a bunch to figure out. They may need to go back to the draft, which it's a bit early, but I don't know how you get Wilson back out there. He lost the team.
Yeah, Zach Wilson's ruled inactive for Sunday, so he's definitely not starting. His season's realistically over. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be tough to get him back on the field.
Who do they play?
They play this Sunday.
It's a winnable game. You got to go with Mike White.
You gotta go with Mike White. Your playoff season's on your season's on the line right now. Can't keep changing sneakers. The sneaker that's fit somewhat the best has been Mike White offensively for your football team. You have to think about that. You have to think about this Sunday. I have to kind of relax off the defense a little bit and try to produce points offensively. That's what the Jets have to do Sunday because, I mean, their defense is good, but in the playoffs, this team that they have constructed is going to have to score a few points. And they proved that they can't do that with those rest of those QBs. So, yeah, get Mike White in, man. Which brings us to the AFC North, man. Bengals still holding on by
best team in the AFC.
11-4, AFC North.
I like that, coach.
Baltimore at 10-5, but they've clinched the playoff spot, both Cincinnati and Baltimore. Pittsburgh 7-8, Cleveland 6-9. I would say this before we give you our opinions. If Sean Watson, might have got tuned in, early in the season, Pittsburgh, we kind of knew it was a rebuild. Baltimore, Cincinnati, this probably could have been the second best division in football this year. And, I mean, it's too late to decide that, but, I mean, a lot of interesting things are going to happen in this division in the next few weeks. You know, Pittsburgh trying to stay 500. Cincinnati and Baltimore may be playing for the division, I believe, in the last week. They only played once, right?
Yeah. And Pittsburgh plays Baltimore, then Cleveland.
Lamar Jackson potentially comes back Sunday against the Steelers. So it sets up prime for a great last week showdown between Joe Burrow and Samuel Lamar Jackson.
Who?
Potentially. You know?
I don't know who that is.
I don't want you shaking in your toes right now. I don't want you shaking.
I ain't shaking nowhere.
You know, you might.
Why would I be worried? Lamar Jackson's played like butt this year. I ain't worried about nothing.
But Lamar, we drew. No. But listen. You got Lamar Jackson and the Ravens team for what this season's been. They're gonna be in the dance. And the last thing Cincinnati wants is to lose
in the first round, like always.
Have to go to Kansas City to prove that you have to beat Kansas City once again. And that's going to be
what's there to prove? There's nothing to prove. They beat them 3 times in a row.
It's hard to
There ain't nothing to prove. We can beat them. We prove that Patrick Mahomes is beatable. He's going to go down. They got to figure – no. It's not down to how do we beat them. It's how can we beat the Bengals. What do we got to do to figure out the Bengals? It's not what does Joe Burrow got to do to beat Kansas City. No, they got to figure out. Andy Reid's got to put down the damn cheeseburger. What do I got to do to beat Cincinnati?
Hold on. You go from your dreams potentially playing the Tennessee Titans in the playoffs. I mean, or Jacksonville.
Gonna be Jacksonville.
You know,
it's gonna be tough.
So then, hold on. The Ravens possibly beating them and then them dropping and going to play Kansas City. That's much different in think and logic aspect. Yeah, you beat them 3 times in a row. You got to continue to beat them if you play them. It's a game, and you're playing against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs.
And yet again, my rebuttal to you is he hasn't yet, and they got to go to the playbook and try to figure out how to beat the Bengals because it's not how are the Bengals going to beat Kansas City anymore. It's the other way around.
On Kansas City,
and they really didn't, and they didn't really lose anything because Lyle Collins has been playing like butt this year too. Yeah. He does just as bad as Trent Brown and the Patriots with holding calls and false starts. He was the worst piece they added.
The pressure's on KC for sure, but yeah. What I will say is that Cincinnati D-line took some hits. I don't know how injured they're going to be or how long they're going to be out, but there's a few. I think Hendricks is out.
He already came back.
He came back. I don't see how long he lasts. I think he came back early. And then who's the other one?
Hubbard.
Yeah, Hubbard is out too. So
we went to school at the same time. He went to Moeller. That was pretty cool. But no, that D-line is one of the most dangerous D-lines in football. You got Hill and Reeder in the middle. Hubbard just went out, but I believe it was something in the calf, maybe, I believe. And then Hendrickson broke his wrist, but he was playing right back. You can play with a broken wrist. I don't know how effective you'll be, but they complement each other. When that defensive line I don't believe he even had a cast. He had to have some kind of a cast because you could see he was wearing something over his arm. Yeah. But it didn't look like no hard cast like you'd see with the big mitts back in the day. But no, he was out there playing. Jermaine Pratt's coming along great. Logan Wilson is still playing Logan Wilson football. Jesse Bates and Von Bell are dangerous. Eli Apple's still the weak link. With Cheetah Bay Awuzie out, they got other people like Cam Taylor-Britt coming up and starting to show what they can do. This defense is an older AFC North style of defense that can play and hit hard up at the front. And to get off the Bengals, because it's just I talk about the Bengals too much. I don't want people to think I'm a Bengals fan.
Whoa.
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to do it for Tomlin. They're going to finish 9-8 this year. He is not going to go below 500. I hate to say it, I hate to see it, but the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to finish 9-8 somehow, some way. I know I can just feel it.
Pickett's been looking better recently.
Yes, he has. And hey, Najee Harris has even brought his play up. He's starting to play better.
Well, he's the type of running back that the system has to be working. Wow. He's not Adrian Peterson where like he can be the system.
Yeah.
He's not that guy.
But no, that's probably about the only hot take I'll give for that statement is that I believe Pittsburgh. I don't know if they'll make the playoffs with it, but 9-8, that's what they're finishing this year because they're going to do it for Tomlin. Tomlin won't accept anything less.
Who's their next 2 games?
They said Baltimore and who else? Cleveland.
Yeah, yes.
I mean, I could if Lamar doesn't get out there, I can see him winning that. And Cleveland, yeah, you can win that game. You should win that game. Cleveland's not good.
AFC South. As we just witnessed this week, Jacksonville has jumped up to a 7-8 record and now hold the first spot.
They went out the end.
Turned into a NFC South kind of thing. Tennessee at 7-8 as well. Still, you got to have a showdown between them two. And if it all comes down, that'll be the game to win the division. Indianapolis eliminated at 4-9-1, and the Houston Texans at 2-12-1. So, who gets in? Jacksonville or Tennessee?
Jacksonville.
Trevor Lawrence is leading that team unbelievably. Since week 9, he has statistically been the best quarterback in football. There's no way he's going to stop.
They got Houston next week, and they play Tennessee. Tennessee's going to lose Thursday night.
To who?
To Dallas.
I saw the head shake. I already knew they were playing Dallas as soon as freaking Coach Lee went. They're going to lose. I already knew it.
Tannehill's done for the year. The rook is in there.
Willis cannot.
Not looking good at all. They're going to eat him Thursday night.
He looks terrified when he's in the pocket. It's hilarious.
The thing is that, they don't need him passing the ball that much. I saw he threw like 29 passes. Malik Willis, I don't believe he's a throwing quarterback. He's like a crappier Lamar. He needs to go out there and do to his strong suits, and that's what Vrabel as a coach or the OC, whoever's calling the plays,
but
needs to do.
It's a quick turnaround though. You can put packages in, but you can't retool your whole offense for this guy. He needs an offense like Hurts has, and that takes a whole offseason to implement. So they could put in packages for him to make him a little more comfortable. I probably wouldn't drop him back 29 times. But in the end, my man still has to drop back and make some throws, and he looks horrified in the pocket. So it's going to be a long game for them. That should be a loss for Tennessee.
Be a good sighting to see Jacksonville in the playoffs, man. We all lived in the times where Jacksonville was making, frequent playoff appearances.
Fred Taylor days, Mark Brunell,
David Gerard,
left wing for Gerard,
Blake Bortles.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Mercedes Lewis.
That's those seasons, man. So I mean, Jacksonville,
Patriots almost lost it in that year.
Dude, he was a play away from the bowl. You understand that?
Yeah.
Blake Bortles, man, was a game away from Super Bowl. Picture this. If Blake Bortles would have been in the history books in Jacksonville, that team, which was stellar on defense, and winning the Super Bowl.
Back when Jalen Ramsey didn't suck.
Determined the fate of the Jacksonville Jaguars. That game against New England determined the fate of what that team could have been.
No, because even if they won it, they still would have had Blake Bortles.
They would have still had They would have still had Blake Bortles. I feel like that the rest of the core would have been able to somewhat stay together. I feel like would have got somebody to insert in there. They were talented.
They all would have bounced and got the bag. They're like, it's still Blake Bortles. I'm out. Like,
definitely. And then you got the AFC West, Kansas City, all the way up in the division, 12-3. Chargers, as we said earlier, got a chance to clinch. They're in the red zone right now. They're 8-6. Las Vegas.
Please don't be Eckler.
6-9. And then Denver, who played another terrible game against the Rams yesterday, 4-11. So we don't need to ask no questions about the Chiefs.
And fired their coach.
Yes, they
after 1 year.
had fired as a Denver head coach.
Not even a whole year.
This is gonna be a Denver roasting session, I guess.
I don't know about roasting. I want to know what changes it. How do you fix this? That's what I'm more interested in.
You gotta go get somebody. You gotta get somebody heavy, man. And we got the problem with the quarterback.
No,
Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore.
Go get him, Denver.
Is
they gonna run the Statue of Liberty a couple times?
Yep.
Yeah, stop.
Come get him.
Is this possibly where Sean Payton lands?
No, he can't take this job. He's not coming back for reclamation projects. He's coming back I thought that.
But they
too.
got a few pieces though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a disastrous year. But if you look at it,
Solid running back.
Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
They need a solid running back.
Do you think he had a bad injury this year?
They need another weapon.
They got wide receivers.
They got 2 solid receivers. I like Judy. Judy's gonna get himself hurt the way he runs.
Okay,
They had the number 1 defense for a good portion of the season.
Mr. Jacobs, hold on. We see Mr. Jacobs frustrated last night.
He wants out.
Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs looking for a contract this year. You know what I'm saying? So
and that line isn't great.
Oh man, it's gonna be interesting to see what this team does.
Thing is too, if Sean Payton maybe, because I think everyone's kind of leaning towards maybe seeing him end up with that Chargers job, but I don't know how. If they're going to make the playoffs, I don't see them firing their coach. But that's not with Denver needing a coach. Same thing with Indy and needing people. A guy like Sean Payton can also attract players to these destinations. So if they can get these teams, if they want to try to get players and try to make the extra leap, which a team like Denver has pieces, they need a few extra things. If they can get a signing like Payton right away, they might be able to get those few extra pieces they need to go on forward.
Again, that's about him. Like that's what his name brings. But why would he do that? That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It's not about what
they don't have the draft capital to get him.
Because you talk about the players he brings, he could bring those same type of players to a better team in a better situation. So why would he do it there? Like, yeah, it's got to be like it'll be like the Chargers maybe, or
I still say the dog horse is Dallas.
Yeah, dog horse is Dallas. Whatever Dallas.
That'd be wild. Yeah.
We know for meltdowns in the playoffs.
Here's the problem, though.
First round exit.
I think he wants an absolutely elite quarterback, and Dak is good, but I think we have enough tape on him to know that he's not the top tier guys. He's good, but
he's mid.
He's not mid. He's a solid quarterback, but he's just not. He's not Mahomes in him. Yeah, see, that's why I feel like
nobody's Mahomes.
Josh Allen certainly does a good act.
So let me ask you this: what was Drew Brees before he went to New Orleans?
He's still plenty of talent. It was a risk because of the shoulder, but that's a younger Peyton who has a lot to prove and found a quarterback who had a lot to prove. It was a perfect match that worked out. I don't think Peyton's in that stage of his career, or he wouldn't have left the Saints to begin with. He's a god in that city. Why would he leave?
I feel like that.
He left because he didn't want to do a rebuild.
I feel like it's a match. I feel like if McCaffrey for some reason can't get it done this year, or even if he can get it done this year, still got to look on the radar of Sean Payton. We just talked about Drew Brees. He had a devastating injury. Everybody looked to give up on him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even have a chance to go out there and perform. He was just injured and the team took him.
Yo, here's the other thing though about Sean Payton. If I'm Sean Payton and I have a choice to choose a job right now, why would I choose the AFC? Why would I choose to face Mahomes?
Yeah, the NFC is on a decline. Yeah.
Why would I choose to face Mahomes every year? Josh Allen, Burrow.
Now,
if Lamar stays Lamar, wow, and then Lawrence stepping up. Why would I choose to face those guys when I could just go to the NFC? And there's plenty of teams here that look solid. I don't know. Yeah. You can't take the Arizona job. That's a bad job. Ooh. Yeah, Chicago's weird.
Tampa?
Take over for Tampa and do it last year with Tom, but then you're in a position where you're rebuilding at quarterback really soon. I mean, he could play to his 90. Who knows? But
I still do think, though,
Tampa and Baker Mayfield or something.
Trying to hop off of that.
Detroit, huh? No, that'd be crazy. They like their coach though.
Yeah, the Sean Payton train though. I think a dark horse to get that Denver job is the coach that Dallas don't want to get rid of, Dan Quinn.
Yep, he was a finalist last year,
and he is a really good coach in my opinion.
That's who I would hate to lose. They can have Kellen Moore ass all day.
Who's coaching Washington right now?
Ron Rivera.
And he should have been got the boot.
Well, yeah, but he battle tested, man. Dealing with that nut up there.
I know, no, I understand all that. I understand all that, man. He should have been got the boot, though.
Nah, they need a quarter. You got to give him a quarterback before you can do that, though.
Yeah, who a quarterback?
Huh?
Man, give me this Ron Rivera, dude. Give me him.
Look, I love Taylor Heineke, but
everybody that's a coordinator or coaching in that command organization need a reboot. I mean, Sean Payton definitely would not go there, but they need a reboot. They need a reboot all around. Like, seriously. Like, coach-wise and all that stuff. Players, they have some great players. You know, they haven't had luck with some players that are on their roster right now in terms of injuries. But, yeah, Ron Rivera should have been out of a job a long time ago. He's a respectful guy, though. Respectful guy. I don't hate him, but I just feel like there's a lot of coaches that shouldn't have jobs right now, and he's one of them.
So who was the next?
The NFC East. Still the best division in football.
Yeah.
It was kind of a bad weekend for three of the teams. You know what I'm saying? One, stood magnificent. And for everybody that wants to go into the, oh, well, they didn't have Jalen Hurts. Well, guess what? Guess who didn't have Dak Prescott in week 8? You heard? You know what I'm saying?
I might have beat you by more.
Well, don't matter. That's not the way we play the game here. We go to win football games, and that's what ultimately is. And they haven't clinched.
Talking about the guy that's 18-1 against the division.
Yeah, still domination division. Philly 13-2, Dallas 11-4, Giants 8-6-1, Washington 7-7-1. Percentage-wise, Washington has a 29.3% to make the playoffs. The Giants looking like they're going to get in, 90.6%.
Winning they in.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas and Philly, we all know their story. Dallas is locked in. Philly is trying to get that division, trying to get the number 1 seed. Jalen Hurts, questionable against the Saints. This coming up, Minnesota on the low, winning the games that they potentially could need.
Yo, quick note on Minnesota: 11 wins by 1 score this year,
which is the opposite of what they were doing last year.
Right. So that's impressive. Big stage, Kirk or not, like that's crazy what they're doing this year. One score games, they're I think 11-0 now.
Going down, man. And we're gonna ask this question all forward. Will always gives his answers, but we're gonna add more. Who do you trust more in the playoffs? The Eagles or the Dallas Cowboys? That's what it's gonna come down to.
Neither.
Eagles are in a bad way right now.
Yeah,
Davis is injured.
They're getting hurt at the wrong time.
Is out.
Yeah. Will, you want to see me ruffle Two's feathers real quick? I think the NFC East as a whole is nothing but smoke and mirrors. There's only one team coming out of the first round for the NFC East, unless they play each other, and that is the first round by Eagles. After that, someone's going to have to play the 49ers, someone's going to have to play the Vikings, and they're gone. No one from the East is moving on to the NFC Championship. That is just a cold case of fact. I'm sorry. I think it's all just hearsay. Huge push in the season, light scheduling. I mean, I don't see these teams being it. That's just my opinion. I'm not. This isn't me coming as a hater. I just see these teams being smoke and mirrors. That's it.
I feel Cincinnati in the same way. So I could agree with you, brother. You feel
ruffle his feathers.
No.
Hey, but we just went. Hey. But Cincinnati just went to a Super Bowl. When's the last time Dallas did that?
Oh, brother. Anyways. You guys
that part right there. Y'all gonna live on that Super Bowl forever. Y'all gonna live on that Super Bowl appearance forever.
You didn't even win it.
Not until this year.
Anywho, Dallas has had a great offense this year. One of the better offenses in the league. So with that defense, if they can get a lead, I trust them more than I trust the Eagles, because if the Eagles get behind, I don't know that Hurts can win them the games.
Yes, I'm sorry, Jamie, man. I'm sorry, Jamie. I should be hating on the Pats. He knows he got to stay on the Cincinnati way, because he knows I will kill him 3-0.
Pats suck, man.
You know what I'm saying, this year, man. But nah, besides the fact, man, a lot of people are not going to appreciate what Dak did this weekend. You know, of course, he threw a pick, you know, and all that stuff, you know. But I felt like there was a point in the game, and the reason why he threw that pick is because they fell off the game a bit.
Well, that was early.
He was in sync. On third down, that man was in sync. He shredded, what was that, the number 2 defense in the league? This weekend, I think he didn't pay attention. I don't care if Jalen Hurts didn't play. None of that. At the end of the day, the Philadelphia Eagles were one of the best teams in the NFL.
He's getting hyped.
Record-wise, the team we've been playing.
You see it? That was a firecracker.
I don't think Dak this weekend. Okay, they can say, "Oh, Dak."
No, listen. You're not even letting nobody say what they say. Honestly, Dak threw the pick early, and then after that, he was pretty much great for the whole game.
Great, man. It was good to see.
Dak had one of his best games, like, in a long time.
No, it was good to see that. It was good to see that. And all the things I see in the game was that, because he's the one that everybody's been like, oh, well, he's the guy that's going to be the reason why you guys don't win. And, I mean, hey, for one week.
Probably will be with those interceptions, but he played good today. I mean, played good this
week. The only person I'm giving any roses to on the Dallas Cowboys is CeeDee Lamb. He looked like a top-tier number 1 wide receiver, top 5 receiver in the league this Sunday.
He's killing folks every week.
They finally moved him in the slot.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they move him around, you can't. It's impossible to keep him down.
That 3rd and 30 to T.Y. Hilton, though, man, by fall is what rejuvenated the Cowboys, man. Because before it looked like it was going to be a loss, and that 3rd and 30 was crazy. That shouldn't have happened. I don't know how that happens, but it shouldn't happen.
Wasn't that the play right after Dak had fumbled the ball?
Eckler scored again.
Giannis.
God dang it.
Eckler.
Wait, is this the 3rd quarter?
Nah, it's almost halftime.
Halftime.
So they had to score.
That might have been a replay then, and I just messed with you.
NFC North, man. Minnesota.
Oh, don't do that.
12-3, Minnesota.
We may never know.
7-8. Green Bay 7-8, and Chicago 3-12. I want to shout out my guy, you know, everybody's favorite guy, probably Bumpy. You know, because he's believing again. He's believing that the Packers could probably get in, and it looks like
they can. They played bum teams, but they can.
Yes, but this is what
they got Minnesota next.
I say this to say this.
And Detroit.
We saw what they did to him last time.
Yeah, we see what they did to him last time, but I said this last week. I said I could see
it's a different team now.
Green Bay beating Detroit. I can see that.
Are they though?
Yeah, I think so. Just mainly because his rookie receivers are catching up. They're playing better, and at the very least, that's what they didn't have before. So they're playing better. Right. Lazard's out there, and that defense is playing. It was nowhere near where it was ranked beginning of the season, but they're playing better than the garbage they've been playing.
And you know what? Hey, I'll give another set of roses to another running back though. Aaron Jones finally said, "I'm done playing this 2-back thing. I'm taking the ball and I'm running with it." A.J. Dillon hasn't done stuff the second half of this year. Aaron Jones took over that spot and has been playing hard.
Dillon helped some fantasy people yesterday. And I believe he did the week
No, he does. But Aaron Jones, last week, right. I think this week Aaron Jones may have produced just a little bit, but I don't know. I'm still thinking Aaron Jones picked it up the second half of the season compared to A.J. Dillon, in my opinion.
Well, he's the starting
back. They gave him that money, man. So at least, if at the end of the day, if A.J. proves that he could be the guy next year or something, they gave him that money anyway. Jones is going to get him all those touches, especially on his first contract.
Guys, it was never about who was that guy or who wasn't. They switch up the backs. They had different roles.
Yeah, they do too. And that ultimately goes down to the scheme game. Because you see them, they show both of them love. You know, one might be hot one game, the other one may not. One could find the end zone one game, the other one.
Also, once you pay Jones that money, yeah, you want to get the best out of him. The best out of him isn't running down everybody's throat with him. You got to mix it up with him. Keeping him healthy is more important than just giving him touches.
For a time, like if the Packers can make the playoffs, that's the type of time where, you know, Aaron will be at his most effective self. But it's gonna be a long haul, man. It's gonna be crazy if these guys do get in. I mentioned I see someone say this morning on ESPN that it's a joke. They don't deserve to be in an audition. I don't like that in the football sense, in the professional sense, because at the end of the day, if you play hard enough in those important last few games and you get in, then you deserve to get in. You know what I'm saying?
Played hard for it.
Hardcore, you're out there performing, out there trying to get in, and it shows that the team is not quitting on you. Despite all that, you can say, "Damn, man, we might not make it," and then go out there and might not make a game. But the fact that the defense yesterday for the Packers, man, shout out to that defense, man. Though Tua could cuss, you know what I'm saying? They took advantage of it in a good way.
Absolutely.
Let's go, man. Rolling on, man. The South. We said we got a championship.
We even got to talk about them.
We just gonna right standards, real.
Well, they got a team 7-8 now, which is kind of close to some of the other teams in other divisions for the first time.
Definitely, Tampa Bay has a wild card record of 7-8. Carolina at 6-9. New Orleans at 6-9 as well. Atlanta eliminated. Who's gonna win Sunday's game? Early prediction: Tampa Bay or Carolina. That's most likely gonna be your division champion.
It's gonna be a top now.
Oh wait, who's got home field?
Tampa does.
Tampa.
I gotta go Tampa then.
Think Tampa can wrap it up then?
I think so. I think Sam Darnold's the starting quarterback, and I've never had faith in Darnold ever since he was at USC. The guy averages 2 picks a game, and one of those picks could be crucial. I just can't. I can't put all my eggs in that Carolina basket. I think Tom can. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a 3-10, 13-10 type game, and I think that Tampa just will squeak it out.
I'm gonna take Carolina.
As much as I want to, but I can't see it just with the experience on the other side.
I'm gonna take Carolina, and saying that offensive line of the Bucs is kind of banged up too. Didn't they just lose a important guy on the line yesterday? So it's gonna be interesting. But that's my take on it.
Yeah, they're playing without the center, Jensen, and I think they just lost Wirfs, and if they lost the third guy, that's 3 of their starting linemen. So yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, I ain't betting against Tom. He's pissed.
He ain't betting against Tom, but I know there's no
Harrison got a new shit.
Yeah. And in the West,
he's not trying to go out like that. Like at least if you go to the playoffs, you went to the playoffs. He's not trying to go out like that.
Definitely ain't trying to go out like that. You got the NFC West. San Fran keep rolling, 11-4. Seattle 7-8. Rams 5-10, and Arizona 4-11.
Rams and Zona already out. So it's just about Seattle.
Seattle they did this week.
Yeah, Seattle fell too far back, man. San Fran got this locked up. Seattle got to play for that wild card.
Absolutely, man. They gotta have to play for that wild card, man. When that 10-degree weather the other day with no shirts on, and got beat like they had no shirts on. You know what I'm saying? Most of it, like y'all said, man, we waiting for San Fran to pop. Looks like they have some momentum rolling, winning these games. Looking like the same as last year. They roll with some momentum going in the playoffs on a winning streak. So shout out to them, man. And there you go with you guys, best and worst divisions. NFC East, best division, worst division. We're gonna say it's the NFC South.
Yeah.
Y'all guys
All right.
on last break?
Last break.
Last water break, man. Get a water, you know what I'm saying? Watch the halftime report, ESPN style, and come back with us. We'll be back in about 15-20. Shout out to the cup.
Yes, sir.
What's up, world? Kyrie Robinson, man. New Orleans Saints veteran. Hey, man, make sure you guys go check out my guy, man, STWF, the media, man. Check them guys out. Y'all want to get sports talks with players, with fans, anything like that, man, go check them guys out, man. That's the place to be if you want to talk sports. Who that nation?
Back at it like we're mad at it, brother.
Yes, sir.
Going to the play call sheet. We here still on a Monday, live and full effect, man. Appreciate everybody tuning in, man. Make sure you remember, man. Share, comment. You know what I'm saying? Stream us out on the airways, man. Follow our pages on all streaming platforms. You know, if you ain't with us, man, 2023 is a great way to start. You know, your application on January 1st, 2023. Make sure you're in the #1 group in the world. That's Sports Talk with Friends, powered by fans, man. So, guys, man, I think this top 10 is gonna be very interesting this week. We've seen a lot of things happen last week.
Power rankings.
So,
Yes, sir.
into that, man. Who want to shout out the rankings? Who want to roll rankings this week?
Josh, you want to do the honors? Jake? Josh?
I would, but I don't have an extra tablet with me to name them off.
Okay, man. We good out here, man.
I'll start.
Go ahead.
So, this is the list that we're going by. Yes, I believe it is. Top 10 this week. This is the New York Giants. New York Football Giants.
I think the team that's in front of them should be number 10.
You think so?
Behind them, yeah. I would put Jacksonville at number 4 in New York.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think you got it right now. I mean, the record for New York is better, but Jacksonville's on the upswing for sure. They're hot for real. The quarterback's playing.
They just got to win against the Colts in week 17, and they end. Overall, great performance from the Giants this season, man. Win or lose.
Yeah, 8-6-1. I mean, they'd probably be happier to get another win, but it's gonna be it's a pretty good team, and it's funny because I don't know that Danny Dimes is all that great, but somehow they won these games with him. I wonder if they had like a real quarterback.
They're respectable now. I give them that.
Yeah. Defense.
I think get beat by other teams and they're not beating themselves.
Yeah.
I also think getting Saquon back was a real big upswing for him, and him staying healthy to be able to play.
You staying healthy. I gotta say that, man. Shout out to Saquon, man. I'll be real.
I mean, Saquon and Christian McCaffrey for real.
Shout out to Christian McCaffrey. Did he really stay healthy? Hold on. Did he really stay healthy? No. I'll be real. He didn't. Saquon in terms of healthiness, I can get Saquon that. McCaffrey hit you on. You know what I'm saying? It could.
I personally don't know how many games he sat out this year, but I only remember, I believe, maybe 2 that he sat out. There might be more, but I don't follow Christian McCaffrey's career that close.
No, I think he sat out. He might have sat out a few in Carolina. Not that much. Probably like 4. You know what I'm saying? But not minimal reason. But like I said, man, like overall, like you said, man, them guys not being as hurt as they've been, being able to help their respective teams, is what they get paid the big bucks for. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
With our injuries, but at the end of the day, man, shout out to the Giants, man. Too much talk on the NFC East team that I don't like. You know what I'm saying?
Number 9, Los Angeles Chargers last week with number 8.
Hey man, they have a team
making a playoff.
That they have an offensive team that can go in the playoffs and get people fits. I don't know on the defensive side, but they do have an offense that can travel.
When healthy, one of the most dangerous offenses in the league.
Yes.
Do the Giants keep Daniel Jones now or move on? That's still a question.
I think they franchise him.
Just as if they got the draft pick and the guy is there, I think Will's guy from Florida is a good guy for the Giants to draft to hold back just in case Danny Dimes does not pull through.
That's a high pick for a guy you may or may not be using.
Yeah.
Depending on how long he lasts. I think because, in my opinion, his name's Richardson, right? Last name Richardson, I believe.
Yeah.
I see him being a second rounder. That might be too high of a pick to have a guy maybe sit, but with teams that may or may, I mean, because it's not a hot quarterback draft. There are a few teams that need quarterbacks, but not as many as normal. He could be sitting. We don't know. But I think if he's available, late second, early third, take a chance on him. Why not?
Giants are picking 23 right now at the draft order today. They ain't taking no quarterback.
No, not at all. I'm saying when it comes to the later rounds, like the second or third round, is my opinion on that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we'll see how long Richardson lasts. Chargers, number 8. So now we go to number 8, Baltimore Ravens. They were 10 last week.
I can see that.
Keep pulling through, man. Keep pulling through, man. We want to see how
Wait on Lamar to come.
They beat the Falcons, but they beat them with the backup, so I guess that evens out.
Question is, man, they gonna fit. They're gonna be the team that they are in the playoffs, man. But you definitely need that dimension in Lamar Jackson if you want to have a chance and win opening playoff game. Definitely
they gotta get Lamar back.
I ain't talking about these bombs.
Number 7, number 7, who was number 7 last week, the Vikings beat the Giants and didn't move up, huh?
I mean, this is really a tough team to gauge. People don't know how to take them. They are doing really, really well to be good, but at the same time, like you mentioned earlier, Will, the point differential is confusing people on exactly where to place these guys and how good they are.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they're a team that are winning games that weren't winning the games that they were winning last year. So they made the proper upswing to be able to come through at the end. It just shows how good they could have been last year. But it's tough to place them because I think the scoring of it was very close because it was like they've scored 760 something points this year, and the opponents scored 650 something this year. It's such a close margin that they don't know where to gauge them. But they're a very good offensive, strong team, and they have a few guys on defense that are really good, but the defense ain't as strong as, a super, I don't know what kind of word I'm using, like a good run at the playoff type team. They need a better defense to do that. They rely too much on the offense.
Yeah, interesting team.
Oh, man. Can't wait to see them in the playoffs, man. Can't wait to see Kirk in the playoffs, my guy.
I want to see if he can do it, yeah. He seemed like he's been getting better at certain moments.
I feel like that somebody, one of these guys.
Situationally, they've been doing better.
Shout out to Bree, by the way, for that.
Number six, who was number 6 last week, Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, we don't deserve no notoriety for being the Eagles.
That's a weird one.
Compared to the rest of the teams, compared to the rest of the teams that's in the rankings down. You know what I'm saying? We deserve to stay in the spot. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. You know what I'm saying? We'd rather to win than a spot down in the rankings, man. That's just me. And that's what it is.
Temper expectations.
Yes.
We want to be spoilers.
Yes. Spoilers.
I still think that was one of the best games to watch this weekend, though.
Oh, it was. It was.
I ain't gonna talk no great things about the NFC East, but I thoroughly enjoyed that game. It was cool seeing Gardner Minshew play again. It was close. Came down to the final play. Best game of the weekend, in my opinion.
Yeah, he almost hung 40.
He almost hung that 40. I was talking about.
Me shook, but I said, it ain't 40. It ain't no 40. You heard?
Had a fumble, man. Messed it all up. He was driving, too. He was coming for that 40 piece. Anyway, number 5 last week. Kansas City Chiefs beat the Seahawks.
Yeah, man. They beat the team.
Good old Sea Chickens.
I think they should be at least number 4 because Cincinnati almost choked and let the Patriots beat them. I can't believe that happened. Meanwhile, Kansas City beat the Seahawks. I feel like they should be swapped, but it is what it is.
The Bengals are getting treated like they won the championship last year. And it's sad to say that the Rams are hungover and drunk and they can't defend their title. But that's what Cincinnati is being treated as. I understand they went to the Super Bowl last year, but they're being treated as if they
good team, though.
Last year. They're being
good team, though.
In the game that
I think that's a massively false statement.
New England choked that game last week. New England had that game last week. I don't care what
nobody. I can agree with that. But you're getting treated like they won a championship last year. I think that's just a hater statement.
Bill Belichick's record against second-year players, third-year players, he has the notch room. And if it wasn't for his running back fumbling, Cincinnati, we're talking about what I'm talking about this week. But the only thing is they won a close game against New England. You're seeing different things, Jacob.
But they beat Belichick. That's what they're looking at. They're not looking at that being a close game. They look at that they still beat and outsmarted Belichick and he got out coached. I don't know. I think your statement of them getting treated like they won the championship last year is extremely false because they did not have as good as a team last year. They made a lucky run at the Super Bowl. Then they made improvements upon the team, and they're doing way better than they did last year.
Where's way better than? Where? No. I want to hear it statistically. Way better. Where? Way
They've
better.
had some-
Where?
they've had
They
some
look like the same
injuries,
team
too.
they were last year.
No,
It's no extraness.
the defense looks a little better. The line looks a little better.
Last year to me was exciting as hell. You know what I'm saying? It was exciting. They're not acting like John Morant and the Grizzlies and talking themselves in that way. They're playing football. They're going out there, they're playing their game. But I just think that this team is not that team from last year. That's just me.
They're better, exactly.
We're gonna see. No. They're not the team from last year. I don't think they're better. I
No,
think
yes, they. Oh my
I think it's
God!
still
How can you not?
fighting.
All right, no, wait. See, this is what I'm saying. You're just doing. You're saying the hater stuff, and it's fine.
It's
It's all good. You're just mad because I don't like Lamar. It's all good. They made massive improvements on the offensive line.
I've been talking about the Cincinnati Bengals since the first week of the season, and everything.
Yeah, because I have.
Has been said. Everything that I've said this year has came to ball. They beaten the teams that they supposed to beat. They lost to the Ravens one time and potentially could lose to them a second time. And you better hope Lamar's not playing. You better hope Lamar's not playing that next game that they play.
Well, I kind of hope so because that means we're going to get some interceptions.
Yeah. They being treated like they won the Super Bowl last year.
No, they are not.
Had a flashy
Crazy.
season and they made the Super Bowl.
I don't even know what the comment means when he says that, so I'm gonna go on Pat. What do you mean they're getting treated like they're a good team this year?
No. I'm talking about in terms of the rankings. In terms of the rankings, you said to your response you felt like they should have been number 4.
Number 5. That's all.
No. Cincinnati's number 4.
I'm saying Cincinnati. I'm saying they should have just switched, but it's like that's not one little. It's not.
If they were getting treated like they were the champions last year, they'd be ranked above the Buffalo Bills, which they are not.
We all been doing this show for about 17 weeks, right? The play call sheet. And every week in the rankings, these are why teams are ranked the way they are. Cincinnati is, though they won, still ahead of Kansas City because they're being treated like they're champions.
Because they beat Kansas City.
They went out there.
No, that's why. Yeah, they beat Kansas City though. That's why they're ahead of them
at home.
And that's the reason why they're being treated like they already won the championship. They beat Kansas City.
They're just being. No, they just got.
That's why I'm saying they won the championship. Being treated like they won the championship.
What's the third team on this list?
Yeah, Cincinnati's 4. We know that now.
Jake got mad because I said, "Oh, this team won the championship. This is once again your fandom. Change your hat. Just change the hat. Change the Patriots hat to a Bengals hat."
This is a Toronto hat.
I didn't really understand it either, and I don't really think that that's what it is. But
it is what it is. When we debate about these rankings, we debate on why rankings are ranked a certain way.
Yeah, and this is it. And look, I do want the Chiefs ahead of them, but then it makes sense because they beat the Chiefs, so it makes sense. It does make sense.
And they'll jump the Bills if they beat the Bills.
Yeah, probably.
No. But then people will say, "Oh, they beat the Chicago Bears, so they shouldn't jump." Go ahead. Just go ahead. Go ahead with the rankings.
Number 3, Buffalo Bills. Yeah, they went up 1 from last week. Yeah, they did beat just the Bears, but they smashed the Bears actually.
I will say this is the one that kind of confused me. I think Bills should be 2, and the team that's in front of them should be 3. That's my only thing that I got wrong with this list. Yeah.
I like that.
It's crazy because
I'm perfectly fine. I think San Francisco's doing great with the backup quarterback or third string quarterback. My bad, Mr. Irrelevant. They are a really good team and they're high power, but this is another team that you just lose the engine in the playoffs. But if we're just talking about this week's power rankings, I still think Buffalo could still be in front of them. It's just my opinion. I don't really have a real reason behind it. I just see Buffalo being the second best team right now behind the Eagles. I think they got way too much.
I think what they do best travels better. They defend unbelievably. On this list, on the top 10, they have the best defense, like by far. Like the only other, I wouldn't even call the Eagles defense elite. They're a good defense, but they have holes. San Fran, I don't know if they have any holes in their defense, man. That defense is crazy. So that's why they're up there where they're at, because their offense is still producing crazy too. So like when you have a defense that good, yeah, that's better for the playoffs than what the Bills are bringing to the table.
This whole top 5 ranking could be a mix up and shut up. I just talked about Cincinnati, but then you see the Bills, and Cincinnati could be ranked higher than the Bills. Like this, like you said, the 49ers could be up and then it switch. It's just the round and how these teams are ranked and how weekly games decide rankings. You know what I'm saying? Big games against big teams can decide rankings. Your quarterback not playing can decide rankings. All this stuff, and this is what I'm talking about. More of that, which was my comment for the Bengals.
Oh my God, he won't let it go. That's hilarious.
No, he won't.
Champions though.
Hey, side comment: Fred Warner is the best linebacker.
The Philadelphia Eagles didn't move. Hold on. The Philadelphia Eagles didn't move.
Yes.
They didn't move.
Well, they
But
do.
we say San Fran. We say San Fran is probably the best team in the NFC. Wow. And hold on, the Commanders beat Washington. So this is more.
Yeah. Well, how can the Commanders? I ain't saying.
I gotta go outside the box and
I'm glad you caught that too.
Anywho, yeah, number 2 rank is San Fran, and number 1 is the Philadelphia Eagles. Still, despite the loss, they still have a 13-2 record, and they lost without their starting quarterback. So,
and it's not the hater in me.
Yeah,
I don't like to hate, but it happens. But anyway, if it was me, I would put Philadelphia at number 3 and bump everybody else up one. The reason being is, Hurts wasn't there, but I think that defense got exposed on Saturday. On the back end, I think the scheme that they run is being figured out. They're vulnerable in the middle of the field.
Mm-hmm.
CD tore him up.
Hell, even what's my man name? Play tight end.
Schultz
had him a good catch.
Well,
a good catch. Schultz had some big catches as well. They're vulnerable in the middle, and also their running game wasn't even when they needed the running game. It just wasn't there. I know that Hurts is a big element of that.
A big part of it.
I know it's a big element of that. But here's the thing:
Sanders had 2 fumbles too, didn't he?
He did. How injured is that shoulder though?
Mm-hmm.
His throwing shoulder too.
That's probably this week. You know what I'm saying? They list that, before the game last week. That he is questionable again for week 17 against the Saints.
And that's the thing. Unless he's 100%, and even if they say 100%, that he's going to be less of a threat running the ball because they're just going to know, like, you had an issue. We could take shots.
Yep.
We could. So, like,
more
often than not, when he goes to make that decision, he's going to give it to the back. It's going to be easier to defend.
And they got New Orleans on Sunday. Even though the team is what it is, most of the offense is driven, that defense is still tenacious.
Yeah, for sure.
And man, you can. Hey, at the end of the day, who put Gardner Minshew, even in rusty mode, saying Gardner Minshew can go out there and the receivers look hella better with him throwing the rock.
I love watching that dude play.
Arte Smith looked like a number one threat. Like, why did we sign AJ? And then you still got AJ, so he's able to get to.
Devontae showed up just enough to lose me my fantasy. He killed me.
So let's take a look at the last portion of tonight's gathering. Super Bowl favorites. They still got Buffalo at a plus 350. Chiefs at a plus 500. Eagles at a plus 500. 49ers plus 600. Bengals plus 850. Dallas plus 1,000. Vikings plus 2,500. And then Ravens at plus 2,500.
I say Raiders. What? The Raiders.
I got Chiefs versus the Niners, man. That's who's going to the bowl.
Chiefs and Niners.
I'm going to say tonight, I want to see something new. So I want to see something new. In the last 10 years, we've seen 49ers and Chiefs. I want to see something new. That's all I'm going to say tonight.
Go Vikings, I guess.
That 25 kind of scary. That 25 looking kind of scary tonight. But we don't know the playoffs. So.
I am still not moving. I have not moved the last 8 weeks. I still got Vikings versus Bills.
Should it be over at halftime?
I need
I got Bills and Niners.
Bills Niners. Interesting.
we need a money Super Bowl.
Well, at least we don't have the same that before. That was terrible.
That'd be the Giants versus the Jets for a Super Bowl.
We need a money Super Bowl on both. We need a money Super Bowl on both sides. I'll be real. There's three teams in the AFC that can be money makers. You know what I'm saying? There's 2 teams in the NFC that could be money makers. Mix them together, and I'm not going with the 49ers. I'm going with my Cowboys against either one of those 3, Buffalo.
2 taking the field.
Kansas City, or Lamar Jackson. If
It's the
Lamar
most-
Jackson comes,
shameless pick.
You better change that 13. You're gonna lose all your money. God, oh my God!
Nah.
The Ravens in the Super Bowl. Yeah, right.
I just said the Ravens to get you
That's a
upset.
joke.
That's all.
Yeah.
The Ravens didn't make a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
But-
we know that.
In terms of market money, I'm gonna say the market money this year, man. You know, Cincinnati and what they got can market some Super Bowl money. Patrick Mahomes, you already know, can market some Super Bowl money.
Man,
And
the
Josh
Super-
Allen and the Bills, who they've been wanting them in the Super Bowl for years. You know what I'm saying? They can generate some money if they make the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl Prince.
You're almost there, Jamie. You're almost there.
No, I'm
Anyway,
talking about in terms of the views. Watching the views in the Super Bowl. Now, if you get crappy teams and crappy market bases in the Super Bowl, then that's not. I'm talking about from a market standpoint and viewers watching the game. You know what I'm saying? Vikings are, a team that is respected, but you really want to watch the Vikings in the Super Bowl? You might want to watch Justin Jefferson in the Super Bowl, but
He needs like 200 some yards to break Megatron's record.
208.
Oh, he's doing it. He's doing it.
2 games. Yeah.
I hope he does. Really hope he does.
Unless they don't need to play that last game.
Then send me. Yeah, but I'm with it.
He just better hope he ain't got to play Diggs again.
Man, that was a great game. Any other game I see Diggs, he's running 20 yards behind the receiver. That kid gets torched.
And
He got ball hawking skills though. Like he can really play football, but he be getting lit up.
Chargers up 13-3 with 2:52 left in the third.
Yeah, I'm about to go watch this.
I got to get to work, damn it. I'm so mad.
Who got shout outs?
Shout out to everybody who tapped in. Shout out to y'all.
My fault.
Shout out to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody who tuned in. Shout out to my cousin. Rest in peace. This is the hoodie we got for him. He used to always say take 5. So, yeah, I mean, he got his name on the back and stuff. I'll show y'all. But, yeah, man. Shout out to everybody. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all. Hope everybody enjoyed the holiday. Shout out to everybody that tuned in today. After a Merry Christmas, hope everybody cleaned up. And like I said, man, opening up to the new year, man. Join the group. Share, comment, appreciate you guys tonight. See you tomorrow.
Shout out to the brand, of course. Shout out to all you guys. Shout out to Will for the birthday the other day. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your sports week. Really, I mean, it was a great holiday, and I hope everyone has a happy New Year. If I don't see you later on.
Shout out to you fellas. Shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight. Got Joshua, Bobby, Jamie, Chris, Chris, and Bernard. Appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. Yeah, man, it's fun as always. I saw the excitement in the chat today. Y'all was ready for tonight. Y'all brought it. Got some good debate going on. I appreciate that. Appreciate everybody else appreciates that. But yeah, we do this for y'all, man. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Tomorrow we got another version of the Chop Up tomorrow.
Chop Up, man.
And I already got my topic. It's gonna be a topic. It's gonna be a topic I think me and Will gonna get along with.
Oh yeah,
man. I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all a little spoiler. We're talking about tight ends tomorrow.
Oh, it should be good.
You going first? Word. I like that.
I think me and Will agree on this one. It's been a while since we'd agreed on one topic, and I think me and him might agree on the tight ends.
It should be good.
Oh, the conversation that y'all been having in groups about tight ends, man, y'all.
Yeah. It's all coming to a head now, so we'll see.
But there you guys. That's your only spoiler warning. We got 3 other topics to come. Tune in tomorrow to find out what they're at.
We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. As always, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We appreciate y'all for hanging out with us. We're going to do our thing. Peace.